Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now, what is this? Is this criminality? Is this incompetence? What is it? What's going on? And what am I talking about? You'll see right here. This article comes from MoneyWise and it's from October 25. The US now has just 25 days of diesel supply. 25 days. The lowest since 2008. Here is why that's more alarming than a dwindling oil piggy bank. What's going on? This is like you're the parent and you leave an inheritance to someone, you give them some money. Inheritance? I think that's how you say it, right? Inheritance? Yeah. And then your freaking kids are eating all that in no time, in 2 years actually. You leave them full stocked with diesel, you let them full stocked with crude oil in Texas and Alabama, whatever the reserves or oil strategic reserves are. These guys are sucking that dry. Strategic, right? Jesus Christ. So incompetent. The US is facing a diesel crunch, just as demand is surging ahead of winter. Great, the right point, the right location where we want to be, with only 25 days of supply left, according to the Energy Information Association. National Economic Council Director Brian Deese told Bloomberg TV that diesel inventories are, quote-unquote, unacceptably low, and all options are on the table to bolster supply and reduce prices. That means contact the Russians, because that's included in all options. However, even as the stockpiles are being drained, the Biden administration seems to be left with very few sustainable options for long-term relief. How about some wind and some solar energy for you? Maybe the trucks will run with that. Great. What's causing the crunch? Lack of it. Unlike gas and jet fuel, demand for diesel recovered at a much faster pace from the pandemic. Diesel is used for transporting goods as well as powering construction, farming, and military vehicles and equipment. I have a friend. He is a semi truck driver. So he's driving a semi across the United States. He told me that it's such a bad situation he's never been in with the economy, and he said the loads are paid low and the diesel is very high. He said don't make money. A lot of people are just moving out, getting out. So I don't know what's going to happen. In 2021, the US transportation sector alone consumed 46.82 billion gallons, or 1.11 billion barrels of distillate fuel, essentially diesel fuel, at an average of about 128 million gallons a day. So 128 million gallons a day. Let's see. With higher demand for this thirsty fuel, traders are paying more for prompt deliveries than long-term ones, and they expect prices to drop in the future. A downward market structure known as backwarding, end quote. This also means it's more profitable for suppliers to sell now. The market usually moves into contango, the opposite of backwardation, where demand is lower and supplies build up inventory with the expectation of higher future prices in the summer. However, strong domestic and international demand, shrinking domestic refilling capacity, and sanctions on Russian petroleum imports have kept the diesel market tight throughout the year. New England stockpiles have been depleted to less than a third of its usual levels for this time of the year, which is concerning since those states rely on fuel for heating more than other parts of the country. The national average price of diesel as of October 24th, which was yesterday, is at $5.34 a gallon. It's more expensive than regular fuel, gas for cars. It says $1.63 more than last year. So fantastic. And they tell us that the inflation is what? 8%? Really? Just make a calculation. So it was what? That means last year it was what? 3 something, 380 or something like that. And right now it's 534. Anyway, what are the government's options? Fire everyone and hire competent people, not based on how they look or how their color of their eyes are, or what they like to fuck and how they like to be fucked. Anyway, look for something that is really competent. I don't care who you are, just do your job for what you were appointed. Jesus Christ. If diesel inventory continues to run down without the government intervening, again, the government must intervene. We're gonna save us all. It's like the parents, mommy and daddy. Why don't you just let the market be without your freaking infringements and your limitations? Because you place here a limitation, you place here another one, and then those things are gonna collide somewhere. And you don't know where and what happened. Well, maybe 5 years when you implement that stupid communist control and whatever you implemented, you fucked up everything. And now what's going on? The government, please help us, communists. You give them more power? No, take their power. Because we got here because of them. What do you mean you call the same idiots to solve the problem? The guy who, the entity that created the problem, and are them, the government, through their freaking policies, international and national, got us into this. Now we ask for them to do something about it? Yeah, do something, get lost, beat it, bye, never come back. Jesus Christ. And now we have this guy. This adds that the Fed, again, has some tools to bolster diesel supply. Again, apply some regulations somewhere, like the Northeast Home Heating Oil Reserve, which houses 1 million barrels of diesel in case of a disruption in supply. So what they do? Hey, I heard Papa had another account. Woohoo! Let's go and suck that dry. So this is I got some tools. How did you make that money? How did you put those reserves over there? Who put those up? Who filled them? Those people should be brought back, maybe dug out if they're dead, and put back to work. I know, like Biden. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Now, 15 minutes, come back. Whoop. That's what I should do. I would do. Unbelievable. So, as the Fed has some tools to bolster diesel supply, I was thinking, let's see, decrease the rates, interest rates, like the Northeast Home Heating Oil Reserve, as I said, which houses 1 million barrels of diesel in case of disruption in supplies. That's not solving, boys. That's sucking the energy out without replenishing, putting back. We have looked very carefully at being prepared to deploy as and when necessary, he said. Great. But the Washington Post reports that diesel demand is so high that if 1 million barrels of diesel were delivered from the Northeast reserves, they would be depleted in less than 6 hours. So, White House officials haven't completely ruled out fuel export restrictions either, but the American Petroleum Institute and the American fuel and petrochemical manufacturers sent out a joint letter expressing their concerns in early October. And I'm quoting, banning or limiting the export of refined products would likely decrease inventory levels, reduce domestic refining capacity, put upward pressure on consumer fuel prices, and alienate U.S. allies during a time of war, the group wrote. Good job. Good job. Setting minimum inventory levels could affect the now blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. So, we're doing fine. Remember, the oil reserves, the oil strategic reserves of the United States are 714 million barrels. These idiots started in March, I was about to say February, March, to suck 1 million a day for 6 months. Calculate that, it's 180 million barrels low than 714, and they were not at 714 when they started, and they were about 400 and something about 2 months ago, right? March, April, May, June, July, August. All right, and then we have what? September, October, and the guy, the idiot, sucks more now. He wants more. He's gonna suck from over there. We're gonna get low over there. We're gonna get low on this one. What else is next? Food or air? One of the two. But you know what? We're gonna ask them to intervene and help us, because it was not them who got us here. It was, I don't know, you know who? Starts with a P, not penis. P. Putin. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Jesus Christ. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.